Like, I had a incident with PayPal one time. This gentleman paid me money, and then he went and he disputed the charge with PayPal. So PayPal, and I had already taken the money out of my PayPal account and transferred it to my bank. So my PayPal account went from like zero to like negative $850. So my PayPal account was in the negative, and then and PayPal's like, you need to like pay this back to put your account back into good standing. And then I contact PayPal, and I'm like, no, like this guy like did this chargeback, like
he did fraud.
And then I essentially tell them, I'm like, no, look at my account history with this guy. We've sent money back and forth multiple times. Like we have a history, a standing of like paying each other on PayPal, and all of a sudden he's just trying to pull this stunt and whatever. And then PayPal looked into it. And after a few days, they sent me an email saying, we've looked into the issue, we've resolved it, and we've sided with you on the matter. Your account is back in good standing. He's no longer getting his refund, right? So I'm like, oh, okay, cool, neat. Thanks, PayPal. Then, a few days later...
They take it back again.
They take it back again. And then I call them back, and they're like, oh, no, this time he went down to his either credit card company or bank and disputed the charge with them. And I was like, okay, and what? And they're like, yeah, like credit card companies and banks supersede payment apps in terms of hierarchy. So like if they take the money back from us, we don't have a say in the matter. We just have to take it from you. And I go, but y'all looked into the matter and y'all already sided with me. Y'all were like, based on the facts, you were right. Y'all agree to that. And they're like, yeah, we did say that. And I'm like, okay, so you're saying I'm right, but you're still taking the money? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, you can't do that. And they're like, well, we don't really have a choice. And I was like I was like pleading with the guy on the phone. I'm like, do you not see how that doesn't make sense? And he was like, sir, I understand your stance and I'm with you. It does make sense to me. But our company policy, I'm like, well, that's the company you work for. That's the company you work for, and I have a PayPal credit account that I use and I pay interest on and blah, blah, whatever, and this is how they treat their customers. If this is how they treat their customers that are putting X amount of money in their dollars, imagine how they're going to treat their employees. Your company doesn't care about you. I was like, this is the company you work for. Do you feel good about that, man? And he was like, sir, like, I'm just doing my job. And I'm like, well, like, you should get a better job. You should get a job with another company that blah, blah, whatever. And then PayPal sent me like a bunch of things about like, hey, you need to put your like,
put your money where your mouth is.
No, like you need to like put so your account can be in good standing. You need to pay this back. I had completely paid off my PayPal
bullshit,
my PayPal credit account, so I didn't owe them any money, like borrowed on credit. But like just from there, I never paid it back, and I deleted PayPal, and I still like they sent me a bunch of things, and I looked into it, and I was like, after 7 years, like after collection, it just gets wiped. Like,
dude, if you
I like did not, and it didn't do anything.
If you ever meet Peter's deal, you should be like, yo, hey,
I will. I'll take it up. No, next time I go to I'll talk to him at Denton's wedding.
You know, it's funny because, you know, I used to work for an industry that was connected to Airbnb and VRBO, and we would have these chargebacks that were like erroneous. You know what I'm saying? Like, whereas like there's no evidence of like stains. You know what I'm saying? Like they'd be like, oh, like really messy, gross. I want my money back, and they'd provide like no evidence backing it up and all of that. And so like Airbnb usually would be like, okay, we're going to refund the person, but the host is still going to get the money. It's just going to come out of our end. While VRBO would be like, oh, well, that sucks. We're going to have to do this long ass review now. But they would usually side with the credit card company, so then we would have to eat it. But it's like, if you're charging a % markup per transaction, some of that percent some of the % that you're taking in the service fee is to cover for events like this where you have to eat it, and then you have to like and this person's done it, you have to like take them off the platform, or like if you keep doing it, we're gonna take you off, kind of shit. But it's breakage. That's just part of business. Like sometimes you as the intermediary are gonna get fucked over. Doesn't mean you like the person that got fucked over is gonna have. You know what I'm saying? Just because you go run to your credit card company doesn't mean that like you're right in that scenario. That's just no balls. That's bullshit. Like PayPal in that scenario should have been like, all right, it's gonna come out of our end. Like,
no, truly, and they would have got me to keep using PayPal credit, borrowing money when I needed it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, actually, they collect that money later on.
It makes more sense just to provide good customer service. And I think I talked to you a little bit about my situation with Airbnb, but I'm going to mention it just because I think the people need to know. Airbnb absolutely screwed me over. Don't ever use Airbnb again. I booked an Airbnb reservation for 5 nights, and I was staying in Miami from May 1st to the 5th, and I booked this like February 25th, months ahead of time, right? February 25th, I booked this 5 nights for Airbnb, and as soon as I make the booking, the same day, a mere hours later, I realized, for whatever reason, I mistakenly did not click May, I clicked March 1st to the 5th, right? I'm like, oh, this happened literally today. Surely I'll be able to contact Airbnb
it's
and
within
say
24 hours.
It's within like it's literally the same exact day. Like the day had not been over yet, and I was like, listen, I made a mistake. Like I meant to pick May 1st to the 5th, not March 1st to the 5th, or 1st to the 6th, not March 1st to the 6th. Is there any way that you guys can just cancel this so that I can go ahead and rebook it for May? And they go, oh, well, today's February 25th and March 1st is
within
only,
7 days.
Yeah, or I think it's within 5, or it's like only 4 days away. So since it's so close to the reservation, you're only eligible to get half of your money back. And I paid about $1,500. So they're saying they're going to keep $750, and I'm only going to get to have $750 for. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Like, I'd understand if like I had this booked for like a long time, and then I finally canceled, so no one can book it. But that place was not booked, and like it had been booked for a matter of like a little bit that same day. Like they didn't have anybody staying there for those dates, even a few days away. And then I contact Airbnb about it, and they're like, yeah, there's nothing we can do about that. You're gonna need to talk to the host, and the host is gonna need to cancel it. So then I reach out to the host, and I message the host, and I say, hey, like here's my situation. I meant to click May 1st to the 6th, not March 1st to the 6th. Can you please cancel this? And then they go, yeah, Airbnb tells you to message us so that we can cancel it, because then we have to pay a penalty. We get penalized for canceling it. So like you have to get in touch with Airbnb about that. And then I go back to Airbnb and I'm like, this is what the host said. And then Airbnb goes, okay, well, there's only 2 people that are allowed to cancel it, you and the host. So if the host is not going to cancel it, then you have to cancel it. And every time I went to go cancel it, it was saying, well, you're only going to get half your money back. And I'm like, guys, this really doesn't make any sense. How do I have to pay $750 for a booking I literally made today that I'm trying to cancel? Like that it's not like I'm not going to use the service. I want to book for May 1st to the 6th. I still need a place to stay in Miami in about a couple months from now. Like, and they're like, well, like there is one option you can take. You can cancel it, get half your money back, pay the $750. Then you can go to airbnb.com/resolutions and file a dispute. And then at that point in time, once you do that, Airbnb is able to get involved and potentially get you your money back. And then I asked the customer service representative, I go, in your experience, is Airbnb usually pretty helpful in this spot? And they're like, oh yeah, they usually get their money back for people. And I go, okay, sounds good. I'm trusting you. I'm going to go ahead and cancel this thing right here. I cancel it. I get $750 back out of the $1,500 I paid. And then I go to airbnb.com/resolutions and I submit a claim, and then basically Airbnb gets back with me, and they end up going, it was a person, but they end up going, we reached out to the host, we tried to convince them to refund you that $750, and they said no. And I was like, what do you mean you reached out to the host? And they're like, yeah, that's all we can do. And I'm like, they said Airbnb would get involved. And they're like, we did get involved. We reached out to the host for you. And I'm like, if I had known that's all the extent of what y'all were going to do, like I would not have even canceled this. I would have found another way to handle the situation. And they're like, yeah, well, the host is not willing to provide that refund. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, why is this host being so greedy right now and not wanting to like I will book with y'all for my actual stay in May. Like, I like the unit. Like, this doesn't make sense. Like, why y'all are doing this? And Airbnb, like, mind you, I used Airbnb on my 6-week trip all across Europe. Every Germany, Switzerland, France, Belgium. Italy, Belgium, Amsterdam. All 6 countries for 6 weeks in Europe. I stayed in Airbnbs for 6 weeks straight, and I'm like, look at my account history. Like, I stay in Airbnbs all the time. Like, I use this. Like, why would y'all be so greedy over $750 that y'all would not refund that to me and keep this customer happy so that I keep using your services? Where's the foresight to see I'm looking at the long run of our business? Like, don't y'all want me to think, wow, like I have a good taste in my mouth dealing with this customer service. I made a genuine mistake. It's the same day. I'm not asking for anything too outrageous. Like, can you not please provide a refund? And they were just not helpful. So at this point, I have since... I just deleted my Airbnb account. I don't use Airbnb anymore. And I'll say, as far as we're going and talking about quality customer service, between DoorDash and Uber Eats, DoorDash is absolutely amazing. DoorDash, if you're a consistent user and if there's any issues ever wrong with the order, they forgot to add the extra bacon in your sandwich, your side of fries didn't come, the drink wasn't cold, or whatever the case may be, you just go into the thing, dispute it, and DoorDash will immediately give you credits for the thing. Like one time, they made a substitution for an item that CVS didn't have an item, and they did a substitution for it, and I was like, no, this isn't the same thing I wanted. And then they just refunded the whole thing, and I got to keep the substitution. Not that it was any benefit to me, but like they understand that customer service is key, and if anything ever happens,
retention.
They just want you to be happy. They don't mind giving you the $20 or $10 or whatever the little fee was for whatever. And I just accepted in DoorDash credits because I'm going to use it again. Supposedly, as Tom told me, when he ordered Uber Eats, they're not the same. Like they forgot his fries, and he like did a thing, and they're like, well, whatever, blah blah. And they did not give him anything back about it. And he ordered the Uber Eats like Whataburger or something like that, and they like screwed him over. And I'll even go as far as to say one time I ordered DoorDash, right? And I had it delivered to Kennedy's place. And I ordered a bottle of wine with it. And for alcohol, you need to check ID. She was in the shower. She didn't realize it was there, so she went outside and her food was there, and she was like, the wine never came. And DoorDash sent me a thing saying nobody showed up to check ID. In our policy, there is a $20 restocking fee that applies to all alcoholic beverages. So you're being charged a $20 restocking fee. And bro, mind you, I DoorDash every single day, every day. Every day. So I called DoorDash and I was like, yo, like, I'm not paying this $20. And they were like, it's in the policy, sir, blah, blah, whatever. And I went like, just take a look at my account and tell me if you want me to keep using the service. Because sometimes shit happens. I'm a good customer and I don't want to pay this $20. And they're like, sir, like we understand, blah, blah, whatever. If there are issues with whatever, you would get things remedied. But like, this is our part of our policy and we're not able to do anything about it. And I literally went, I need you to transfer me to a supervisor immediately. Yeah. And I got transferred to a supervisor and I explained the situation. He was like, blah, blah, whatever. And I was like, dude, like just look at the account. Like I need this $20 taken off. And he was like, $20 in dash credits, that's all you want? And I was like, yes. And he was like, done. Like immediately did it because he understood like this guy uses it every day. Why would we make him feel like
you just have to ask for a supervisor every time?
They're making so much money off of us. Like it doesn't make sense not to keep this guy happy. Like I'm gonna, and it's only maybe like 1 in 15 orders that might have an issue, and I only submit an issue when there's a genuine issue. Like I'm not over here like I'm gonna like screw the system and complain about one thing every order and get like this $5 or $10 back every time. And like no, like I'm not.
They're still profitable with you as a customer.
No, they are so profitable with me as a customer, bro. Like it doesn't make, and that's what I appreciate is the way DoorDash handled stuff compared to the way PayPal handled things and to the way Airbnb handle things, because that doesn't make any sense. No, I'm no longer using PayPal. I'm no longer using Airbnb. And to anyone that will hear it, I will talk about how these companies did me such a disservice when I'm a genuine, true customer that is only trying to like use your service. Like I'm not doing any nonsense. Like
gaming the system.
I understand the $20 restocking fee, but like I'm a good customer. Hook me up. Like hook it up. Like do me a solid this time. And they did. And it's kudos to them. I use them every day. You know what I mean? Like it's not like, oh, like I'm asking for all this stuff and I'm entitled to this and that and y'all just give, and I take. But like no, I'm giving back to y'all. Like I'm using your service. I wouldn't mind using Airbnb for everything that I could possibly need in the future and not needing to stay at hotels and stuff if they were just quality. But now I asked them to delete it from my phone. I'm gonna go use VRBO. I'm gonna use whatever company Kutin used to work for. What's they called? What are they called? Actually, screw them too. They let that man go.
Yeah, screw them.
You want to name drop them?
You want to name drop them? We want to name drop them.
We can start a little kerfuffle.
They're already not doing great.
Oh.
Yeah, but they can take notes from like how Las Vegas casinos deal with things.
Oh my goodness,
like,
it's amazing.
If you're like a good customer, they see how much you spend.
They give you whatever you want.
They comp certain things. They're like the main priority. Since there's so much competition here too,
bro, we just
want retention.
They give me boxing tickets, like cars to wherever I need, like all these free meals, and I like. There are people that get way more stuff than that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they get flown in on the jet. They get to stay in the most luxurious places. They get Super Bowl tickets, like box tickets. Like it's crazy. Like Las Vegas, Nevada knows how to do customer service properly. They really do.
I feel like these companies are so micromanagey too, where it's like, look, if this kind of customer is in this kind of percentile, then like supervisor automatically should be on like that call.
Yes,
and then
yes.
You know what I'm saying? There's got to be tiers and levels to this shit.
Sure, if the guy is only using this once
in a blue moon,
then it's like, okay, sure, nobody like you, but
or just making like account after account, and you just like, oh, like this is my first time. It's like, okay, well. But if you have like a history with them and you're like, look, this is just an honest mistake, or like,
no, genuinely, bro, genuinely, like sometimes things happen and customers really do appreciate being seen, heard, and properly compensated and taken care of for instances which like it's just a really good look. It makes customers feel happy, have a good taste in their mouth with dealing with companies, and it's nice.
What my former company would do, like, this isn't the same situation as yours. It's actually way worse with the Airbnb, where it's like someone would stay there for like 3 or 4 days, right? And
what exactly did your company do?
So we managed the homeowners properties on Airbnb and VRBO, the platforms, and we would handle like all of the like guest complaints or everything else that would go through those platforms.
Oh, so if somebody just didn't want to do it themselves, you were just a middleman to handle.
Basically, it's like passive income instead of them having.
So y'all were not a competitor to Airbnb or VRBO.
We were just like
a middleman.
Yeah, we were like a Dunder Mifflin to like the paper company or the people that make paper. Like,
right.
And we would handle like the maid stuff and all that kind of stuff with the owners, but. Basically, what we would do is, okay, so you stay 3 or 4 days. We're going to account for that amount from the percentage that you paid, and we're going to do an MBO, which is it's called number booked over. I think that's the acronym. Where if we get another guest that stays for those days that you left, we'll deduct it from like how much you paid. So you keep that money, and that guest will just cover that share. You know what I'm saying? That they stayed for. So then, like, you're going to be paying less. Even though we don't have to do this, like, you're going to leave a better rating. And, like, the homeowner's happy because they're still going to get paid out. And, like, et cetera, et cetera. It's just so dumb to just be like, okay, I'm going to be, because, shouldn't life happens. People die. Like, oh, I'm an emergency, that kind of thing.
Definitely.
And so, like... when you're a rating based company too, or like if you get like a 1-star, 2-star, if someone's just vengeful and it's not easy to get those, taken off, it can fucking harm like tens of thousands of dollars of future revenues that you can get. Rather than just being
I wanted to leave a bad review on that company that that was refusing to give me back the $750 or cancel the thing, and still told Airbnb they were going to keep it.
The homeowner,
it wasn't even a homeowner. It was like a one of your things.
It was like
Miami Vacation Rentals or something like that.
It's
and those I wasn't able to leave a review because I never stayed there. But I really wanted to put something out there, and I'm like, I mean, at this point in time, don't stay with those people. Don't use Airbnb. They do not care about you. Steve and I care about you.
Because it's just so stupid on a retention scale just to do that. I don't know. It's just such a drop in the hat.
It's literally a drop in the hat. Yeah, it does not. Customer service is just so key, man.
Because there's been just so many things where you just see really, really rich people and the company won't budge on some small ticket item, and it's good. You lost fucking so much business just because you would be that guy.
I'm always gonna be that rich guy that's do right by me and I will spend money with you and you can make this money.
It's
but like,
principle.
if you screw me over, like, if anything, I'm going to go out of my way to like, because I tell people about how poor your customer service is in order for less people to get screwed over the way that I did. It's not even about, oh, like, I want your business to do poorly. It's like, I don't want you to do to other people what you did to me.
Yeah. And it's from the host perspective too. I get it too, of like, okay, if they cancel from their end, Airbnb's algorithm and API can make it where, oh, if you cancel this many times from the host perspective, kind of like Uber drivers who cancel, their ratings will get lower, they'll get algorithmically pushed more. I can see the fear of that, but not even trying to work around, like do a workaround of like, hey, if Airbnb handles this, then it doesn't penalize me or the guest. Like, and they're gonna book. And the only thing I would say is like, okay, they're still gonna like actually Florida's different because March I think is like those days would have been worth more in March than they are in May. I could be wrong, but I'm just spitballing from math.
Nope. Because May 1st through the 6th was literally one of the most poppin' weekends in Miami. F1.
Okay, that's
the PGA. There was all sorts of stuff going on. Like May.
I was just thinking peak season in South Florida is like March, April are huge months.
Could have made so much more letting me stay in May, and instead I didn't stay at all, and they just kept their $750. Like, if anything, give it back to me, and then that same $1,500 I was trying to spend in March is $2,500 in May, and then I end up spending $20. Like, y'all, but shoot yourself in the foot.
But they're like, oh, if I get a book,
it's so stupid.
I can get the $750 and get someone else to book. But it's just like. Yeah, it's such short-term thinking.
It's just such poor quality customer service.
And also, like, the closer you get to those days, if they're using any dynamic pricing, the lower the price is going to be. Because the closer you get to the vacancy, you want that shit filled up. So you're going to try to have a more lucrative rate. So, yeah, it's just dumb on all accounts. Sometimes, you know, you gotta eat it. Like, PayPal should have ate it.
This is probably
we're gonna say this is probably.
No, you were on the edge of the frame.
Oh, okay. It's just crazy also how much power MasterCard, Visa, like these credit vendors was basically like, yeah, like we can deny anything. Like there's no government agency that like really controls us. Like if we don't want people to buy a certain product, we won't like let our card be used for this. It's just crazy the amount of fucking power they have, and there's not much that like governments can do.
Do you think that governments should have regulation over MasterCard, Visa, and American Express?
I think, like for example,
can't forget about Discover.
If they're like, oh, this certain game, it was recently contains like violence or nudity, and you have these groups that are like wanting to have these payment vendors boycott it. It's like, no, that's bullshit. Like, what the fuck? Like that's kind of like a freedom of speech kind of thing, where it's like, well, shit. The only other alternative is to buy it in crypto, but credit cards are so widely used. It's for a lot of people. Then no one's gonna buy the game, and if it's an online marketplace, I just feel like that's a lot of fucking power. I don't know exactly, like involving the government more in certain things isn't always the best solution. So I don't know if you would have a better solution. I just don't like that. But they really have more power than like a lot of agencies.
Well, as a consumer, I'd argue that you should probably just have one of each, so that like you can just go wherever you want and be able to spend your money. Or
what if
you
they
just
all
have
collude?
Cash is great.
No, but what if you're paying for like a game or something online? Like what if this is an online thing? Or they only take cards.
So where on earth would there be that they all colluded and nobody can buy it? Then it doesn't make sense. Like, how is nobody going to be able to buy it? Like, there's got to be someone somewhere that can buy it.
Yeah, so this is the article it was like MasterCard and Visa face backlash after hundreds of adult games removed from online stores.
I don't know why I was thinking you were talking about like NBA games. You're like, I'm trying to buy the tickets to this NBA game online, and MasterCard, Visa, Discover, and Amex all colluded to not let me go see the Spurs in the playoffs. I'm so mad.
But like, if you had like some CEO of some company and they're like, that game talks shit about me, I don't like that. Like, don't take any payments from them. It's like, damn, you have a fuck ton of power to just like the median of how a lot of like people pay for shit. You can just wipe that out. That's crazy. I'm not saying that I have a solution. I'm just saying, like, dude, you have more power than like 99.9% of government agencies.
I mean, I feel like all I'm seeing is just like a market. Like, wow, I want to become that guy. I want that power.
I thought you were going to be like, this is why crypto.
Maybe that, but I don't have an issue with the power if I can become the guy. Like, just seize the power for yourself and everything's all good, right? Yeah, I want the power.
But it's like, just because, but freedom of speech.
Yeah, but you're using my card.
That's a funny point.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what the MasterCard guy's thinking. It's like, this is my card. I'm John Master. So like, if you're using my card,
shit about me,
then you're not. No, like, I can see that, because that kind of like, I feel like it kind of goes back to like the customer service thing. It's like, you like I'm gonna do anything in my power to like make sure that like if you did this to me and it's really this pricing to me, like,
I feel like it's a slippery slope though, because if you have like an authoritarian government and they're like jerking off, they're like, oh yeah, you can't like anything that talks shit about the government, like we can just say no.
Yeah, but the government isn't the one with the power, as you just said.
Yeah, it's a private company.
Exactly.
No, but I'm saying governments that like buy out these private companies.
So make a competitor is what we need to do. The Putin card.
Yeah, and then when you get like a sizable following, they're like, oh, by the way, we're gonna buy you out now. Like,
you don't have to sell.
That's true, but it seems like every fucking brand at HEB just, they're like, oh, we become popular, time to sell to like PepsiCo, time to sell to General Mills. You know what I'm saying? Where they're a small company, they're using like all natural ingredients, and then they're like, here's a bag, and they're like, it's a big bag. All companies, and then you look at the ingredients, and you're like, God damn it. It's that kind of shit. You know? And say like you have a board of directors, and they're, you know what I'm saying, you have people that all have shares, and they're like, well, you found it, but like,
you don't have a say in the matter.
We want our ROI back. That's like one of the biggest problems with going public versus like having private ownership.
I mean, when you think about how Zuck did it, like it was, his board of directors was trying to push him to sell for $1 billion, and he was like, no. Like, they're like, this is a lot of money.
He had like the majority controlling stake. He's like, as long as I have that 51%,
keep that, brother. Yeah. Keep that.
Because it's like, as soon as you get
if I have to sell any percentage for that casino boat, that offshore casino boat, I'm keeping majority. Like, I'm not going any less than 51 for me. Like, if I have to, like, you know, to raise money for it, like,
because it's either 51 or I'm zero.
I would keep 51 or straight up no equity loans. Like, charge me interest and I will pay you back the cash. Like, I want the money and I want my whole boat. Like, I don't want to share. Mm-hmm. It's mine. Like, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the part of like when Mark Cuban was like, oh, I still own this percentage of the Mavericks. I'm like, why? Why not just sell it all? I would be like so pissed off.
It's like his baby, you know?
Yeah, but imagine like how pissed off you would be like, oh, I own 20% of this, but I have no power, and I'm just seeing these schmucks ruin my fucking baby. I'd rather just be devoid of all of that.
But he probably like still makes a decent chunk of change. It was probably about like what he's still gonna get to and I'm sure he made some deals of like, oh, some of the stuff that I implemented, like maybe I want to keep like higher percentage of like
a royalty percent,
because of like if before I got here we weren't doing X, Y, and Z, and X, Y, and Z account for X percentage of our total net profit. Mm-hmm. Like, this was my thing, so like I will sell this to you on the contingency that still like 75% royalties of this are my way, like, because like this is really the bread and butter of what is getting stuff done. Like, I'd have to imagine he's like smart enough to have put a couple of clauses in there.
Well, I thought he did. He thought he was still going to be running the fucking team and they're like, it's not in writing. I was just like, we just talked about it, and they're like, you have no.
They're like, we're going to get rid of Luka now.
You're like, you have no power.